Hey
Hello,
guys, how's
ladies
it
and
going?
gentlemen.
Welcome back here to the Liberty Hour. We are back on. I've got I had a great time with Al, by the way. I wanted to thank him for being on. He did such a wonderful job as always. He's an awesome pleasure to have on. I wanted to go ahead and introduce my next guest for the night. He is a good friend of mine. Usually hang out with him usually like twice a month. Comes up from he's working in Ukiah right now. He's worked in the Bay Area before, and we hung out a lot back in middle school and early high school, and I want to go ahead and introduce him, my friend Bailey Green. How you doing, Bailey?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. It's been going good so far. I got have had a pretty busy day, but it's been going good. Had work this morning, went and recorded a short film with my group from college, and did some homework, but it's going pretty good. Happy 420.
Happy 420 for you too, man.
Yeah,
I hope
sure.
you're enjoying it.
Oh yeah, it's
That's
going
all I
great.
got to say, man.
Oh yeah, it's going great. I'll tell you one thing though, I haven't had much to eat all day. I definitely don't need to smoke anything, that's for sure, because I am hungry. But
You should though.
yeah. So yeah, what have you been up to, man? I know you've been pretty busy with work here, there, and everywhere. What's the main project you got going on up in Ukiah right now? Go ahead and talk about it.
You know what, man? I'm doing we're working on Costco, and today I just worked 13 and a half hours. Yeah, 13 and a half hours, and that's why I couldn't get on this podcast earlier. But we're here now. I finally got my break. You were right. You called it. It was like right at 8:30. I just took off. I was like,
well, that's good. I'm glad you're on.
know,
And so, what specifically have you been doing with Costco? Because I know you helped one in the Bay Area. So, what specifically is it that you do?
you know what, man? We hire a lot of temporary help, and we have very few committed employees here. So I've managed to actually secure a supervisory position, running some of the departments in the store. So
Well,
I
that's
do the
awesome.
lighting and power. Yeah, for some of the structures inside the building, and I was also this week I've been doing a lot of underground, so a lot of digging around in the mud and getting dirty, staying overtime, and
So-
I'll actually be working tomorrow for a Saturday as well.
Damn! Wow. So, when did you guys start building this Costco in Ukiah, and how long is it expected to take?
Well, we actually started around November, but I wasn't sent up here until early in March. So really the main part of the project kind of kicks off like halfway through or partway through, and then we're planned to finish in August. And this one's going to take a bit longer than the last one because we were actually contracted to do the parking lot lights as well as the gas station. Some GCs contract out different parts of the project separately to other electricians. So we secured most of this job as our own.
Well, that's what's up. I was gonna say I've never been to Ukiah. I've been to Reading. I've been to a good amount of other cities. I haven't really been to the northeastern part of the state that much. I know Ukiah is one of the most major cities and pretty much a stretch of at least 50 miles. How busy is Ukiah on the average day? Like, is it hard to get to work at all? Is it pretty easy? How busy is the city?
Well, Ukiah is an interesting city. I've actually never lived up here myself, so it's been a good experience. I like seeing most of California. I've been all over, so this is my first time in this region of Cali, and Ukiah is essentially the central part of this area. So everyone that lives up in the middle of nowhere, up in the mountains, down in the valleys, all over the forest, basically come here to get their groceries and stuff. So there's very, very few people live here, but we got all kinds of little supermarkets like Lucky's, Walmart, Costco's being built now. There's a Wells Fargo, there's a Chase, just all types of banks, restaurants, and just essentially anywhere you would normally go living in the city for everyone around here that doesn't, you know?
Right. And that's actually really surprising me because people know of Ukiah. They know it's city that's pretty central over there. But what's amazing is the population is only like 16,000, but that's where everybody goes because every place else is farmland pretty much.
Absolutely, yeah. So exactly. So people make their grocery runs here and stuff like that, and they'll handle their bank business or whatever they got to do. But it's not really. It's just more commercialized than anything. So that's why there's no real. There's not a lot of people here. And I mean, I myself, I'm staying in a Best Western. That's just like one exit away from the exit to Costco. So,
yeah, I was gonna.
So the drive is pretty quick.
I was going to ask you about like where you stay and live and everything like that. So obviously, if you're staying in a hotel, and I would assume that you did the same thing down in the Bay.
Yeah, exactly, man. My company will actually the owner will actually rent several rooms for the guys, and we just pretty much show up, tell them we're with Fine Line, or tell them our boss's name, and they give us a room real quick.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you is how you get it all paid for, and I figured it was by your guys' company you had. That's awesome. That's got, I mean, obviously I assume it's pretty hard work, but I mean, you're getting paid probably pretty good, and you get a free room. I mean, you can't complain about that.
Yeah, living rent free, getting paid to travel, and just living the life, man. It's a good experience, man, because I get to live with other working people, you know. So there's other employees here that, you know, they just do the same thing. We're actually staying in the same hotel as the plumbers that are also doing the Costco.
Oh wow,
yeah,
that's cool.
Around the halls here and there. Yeah, so it's good experience, man.
So I was gonna say, I would assume with because I think you've worked on at least 3 Costcos that I know of. I'm sure you've built some pretty good relationships with the people over the last few years.
Absolutely, man. My roommate's actually a friend of mine, and my foreman is also a personal friend. I was his roommate on the last Costco. He was the second in charge, and he took a step up, and so did I.
That's awesome. That's great. I was going to ask you, because you were saying you've pretty much been to most areas of the state. I know you've worked in one down in L.A. I know you've worked one in the Bay Area, now one up in Ukiah. And obviously you've been to other places in the state as well. What is your most favorite place that you've been to in the state, and why?
Wow, that's a loaded-ass question, man. I got to be honest, I can't. That's such a tough decision for me. I've been... You know what? I really liked. I did a Costco remodel in San Diego directly after I did the ground up in San Jose, but I wasn't really on a shift where I could enjoy the city properly. So I don't have the greatest memories there.
Right.
But it was beautiful. I'll definitely say that. Honestly, I really love LA. I was born there, but I've never lived inside the city. So I don't have any memory of the place in terms of living there. But, you know, I think it's a beautiful city. That's where I see myself best, you know?
Right.
So I guess you could say that would be my favorite.
Yeah, no, for sure. Getting to an issue here that I was talking with Al a bit earlier. I don't know how big an impact it would have on you, but knowing that you go all around the state of California to help start up these Costcos and do all that stuff, there's going to, I don't know if you know about it, there's going to be a ballot initiative in November to try to split California into 3 separate states. So Northern California would basically be everything just north of the Bay Area, kind of going around Sacramento straight up to Northern California, the very tip top. Regular California would be everything from the Bay Area, so like San Francisco down to LA, just the coastlines of San Francisco down to LA. And then Southern California would start at like Lake Tahoe, kind of curve its way around into like Modesto and down past Fresno all the way down to San Diego. And I don't know what kind of impact that would have on you in terms of like pay or anything like that, or starting up Costco's and stuff. But I don't know if you have any thoughts on that. But yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
I don't know how you feel about me swearing on your podcast, man.
Oh, I don't care. I don't care. You can say whatever the hell you want.
But my opinion is fuck that. I think this is such a powerful state. We have such a huge influence on America's culture, I think. And I honestly, I've been to a few other states. Um, obviously haven't traveled the whole country, but I believe this is one of the greatest states in this country. You know, we've done so much for civil rights throughout the years, and we're just a powerful state. You know, we're productive. We have so many different cultures in such a large plot of land, and I think to break what we have going up is just terrible, man. I don't believe in that, man.
No, I completely understand where you're. Go ahead.
You know, we just have so many beautiful cities and so many different beautiful terrains under the same name, you know, and to break that apart is just tragic, you know. Like I don't think that's fair, man.
Right. Now, one thing I didn't even mention to Al earlier when I was talking about this is we were talking about water rights. We were talking about colleges and schools and stuff like that.
Yeah, but what about marijuana rights, though?
Yeah, that too. But which we'll get to that in a sec. But one thing is California is the world's sixth biggest economy itself. So it actually, I mean, people really kind of look at us when it comes to the nation of the United States as the biggest producer. I mean, we have a lot of farmland over here, so we produce a lot of that. Obviously, Napa with the wine country in the valley there. Just or Silicon Valley when it comes to technology. I mean, there's so many big aspects when it comes to the state, and if you split it up, it'd be really interesting to see the impact that would have on the nation and really the world as a whole. I think the main influence to try to get it to split up is voter representation when it comes to politics, but I think that, yeah, there's a lot of negative things that could occur if it were to be split up, and I think it's going to be really interesting to see how it plays out.
You know, man, I think that's exactly why they want to split us up. But if you really think about it, politics are such a superficial reason to do that, you know? It's all bullshit anyways, you know? Our impact on the Electoral College obviously pisses some people off because we're almost always blue. And that's a big chunk, but I don't really think breaking us up is going to make a difference in that regard, because I mean, maybe they'll win the northern side of you know, whatever split they make,
right?
Maybe, but at the end of the day, I mean, yeah, I guess they're just giving better representation to a piece of California, and you know what? If they want to take that piece of California, have them. You know, fuck them.
You heard it here first, folks.
You know, no, I'm just kidding. But I'm just saying, to break us into 3 fucking pieces, man, is just way too much, dude. Because like I said, there's a lot of beautiful cities, and we're all connected under the same name, you know. And I love that. I love that about the state, and I think very many people would agree with me on that.
Well, and another thing, personally, and I know that this would impact you also personally, and a lot of people in general, honestly, is I don't necessarily like the idea of having to travel out of state or have that feeling when it comes to seeing family. I've got a lot of people in the state. I've got a grandfather who lives in Bakersfield. I've got a half brother that lives up in Chico. I've got people all around the state, and I don't like the idea of having to feel like I'm moving around everywhere just to see them. Just, you know, be united as one as a whole. But, you know, there's people on the other side of it as well that part of the Cal exit movement that want to see California become its own country and secede away from the United States as a whole. There's 32% of people that agree with that, and I don't like that either.
I'm totally with that.
Yeah, I just think people need to stop feeling like there's so much division and realize that there's a lot of good people around, and realize that we actually can be all united. It's just a matter of, yeah, it sucks that we have a big impact on the Electoral College, but at the same time, hey, you know, our founding fathers created our country in a certain way, and you know, I understand representation sucks sometimes, but if you don't like it, I don't like to sound like this, but if you don't like it just because of that, you don't have to live here.
Yeah, man, that's the only deal, is like people people in other states want us to split up because we
Right.
have an impact on the Electoral College, and that's
Right.
really that's nothing to do with them, man, because they're
I hate to cut you off, but I'm at the end of my 15 minutes. I will start at part 7 for you guys in a sec.